What's up, everybody? This is Mad Dog Mike coming at you with another video. Today we will be reacting to the Celtics and the Kings game from last night. But before we get into that, just a couple of things. First thing, if you missed the video from yesterday, the Celtics versus the Warriors, the link to that video will be in the description below. And secondly, if you like this video, drop a like on it. If you're new to the channel, smash that subscribe button as well. And turn your notifications up so every time I post a video, you'll get an update about it. So, talking about last night's game, the Celtics fell 116 to 111. Short-handed, no Kemba Walker, resting on the second game of a back-to-back. No Smart, no Pritchard again. So they were shorthanded. They had decided to go with Teague last night in the starting lineup, which is very surprising, seeing how he's been struggling so far this year. But like I said in all my videos, so what I like to do is I start out by going through the part one is the good of the team, which there was some good from last night, even though they lost. The second part is some stuff that this needs to be worked on, some stuff that was just not good from last night, and there's a couple of things I have in mind on that. And the third part was a preview of Friday night's game against the Clippers. So, with the loss last night, the Celtics fell to 11-9, 6-6 on the road, 5-3 at home. They're now tied with the Pacers for fourth in the East, which is right where they were a few days ago, so they didn't really lose any ground. So the good from last night, my player, like I like to do in every video, I like to do a player of the game from the Celtics. And so last night, there was a couple of guys that really deserved the player of the game. And for the third video in a row to start the channel, it's got to go to Jason Tatum, unfortunately. He scored 27 points, had 10 assists, and 9 rebounds. 1 rebound away from a triple-double. He did struggle from the field. Shot 11 for 26, so he missed 15 shots. He missed more shots than he made, but you never like to see that, especially out of your star player. So Tatum played well. Really struggled with the three ball last night. Only shooting 2 for 10, 20%. He is a much better 3-point shooter than that. So that was, but overall, 27, 10, and 9 is a good game. So that's why he gets my player of the game honors from last night. A couple other players that deserved player of the game, in my opinion, was Tristan Thompson. Probably had his best game in the season, in my opinion. Had 17 points and 10 rebounds in 22 minutes. So he was a force in the paint. Really brought the energy for the Celtics last night. Another guy that could have got it was Daniel Tice. In 27 minutes, he had 11 points, 3 for 4 shooting threes. So Tice played well last night. And then Jaylen Brown got back into the 20s. He scored 21 points last night after scoring 18 the game before. So the Celtics, they played well last night. The King, I can't take anything away from the Kings team. Like, they're a good shooting team. They have some talent. Especially at home. I know this season they played really well, above 500 team. So, yeah, like I said, the Celtics and Kings, they were pretty even last night. It came down to free throws, pretty much. Free throws and then 1 or 2 shots. But other than that, they played very, very similar. Celtics shot 45% from the field last night, 33% from three-point range, when the Kings shot 45% as well from the field, but 35% from 3. So only 2% better than the Celtics from three-pointer. So they played about similar. Celtics 50 points in the paint last night to the Kings 48. So it was a good game by both teams. De'Aaron Fox and Harrison Barnes both really played well last night. De'Aaron Fox this kid is going to be a stud. If he's not already, he's going to be a stud in the NBA for years to come. But Harrison Barnes finished with 24 points, 6 assists, and 5 rebounds. De'Aaron Fox, 26 points, 11 assists, so a double-double for him. So, yeah, the Kings, they were aggressive right out of the gate, and really they didn't let up. They went all the way through. So yeah, I mean, the stuff that the Celtics need to work on that I noticed from last night. First point, obvious, bench. I mean, the bench played 95 minutes last night and only scored 28 points. I mean, I feel like a broken record. Just keep repeating myself with that. It feels like it's an every game thing. I've said it in the first two videos, and I'm going to continue to say it. They need to add bench depth, and it's showing game after game after game. I mean, your leading scorer off the bench last night was Robert Williams. He had 9 points. Everybody else was 5 points and 3 points. I mean, it's not going to cut it. It's not. A lot of these teams in the NBA that are making the playoffs, like the Nets, the Sixers, you know, the Bucks, they have depth on the bench. And the Celtics, that's the one thing that they're lacking. Another thing for the Celtics last night that I noticed, it was similar with the Kings as well, but this is something that they need to really work on. Turnovers. There was a lot of foolish passes, in my opinion. Stuff that just easy turnovers that they shouldn't be doing. They had 13 turnovers last night. The Kings did have 11, but those 13 turnovers really cost the Celtics the game last night, in my opinion. So, yeah, I think that it's a thing that they have to work on. They can't be forcing the pass. They have to wait for the opportunity, and that just didn't happen last night. So with the loss last night, the Celtics they've lost. They're 4-6 in their last 10 games, which is surprising to me because the talent, the roster that they have. I mean, I know teams are gonna go on stretches where they're really struggling, or they're missing pieces like the Celtics are right now. But you have to fight your way through that. And the fact that this team, even with Kemba missing a back-to-back, a game on the second game on a back-to-back, and losing Smart and Pritchard, they have the starting lineup has depth. The bench not so much, but I think the Celtics will be fine. And then the second thing that just not good from last night, and it's been another thing that's been reoccurring all season long, was Jeff Teague. I mean, he got the start last night. 23 minutes, shot 1 for 6 from the field, 1 for 3 shooting threes, and finished with 7 points. This guy, I don't understand what's going on with Teague this year. I mean, like I said, I know the minutes really haven't been there for him, but I mean, they when they signed him, I was really looking forward to this kid. He had a great jump shot, especially a great 3-point shooter in his career. And I mean, he's getting minutes. I mean, he's getting double-digit minutes. He got the start last night. And it still didn't seem to matter. I don't know if he just doesn't trust himself, he just doesn't have the confidence in his shot, or what's going on there. But Teague's been a big disappointment so far this season. I know it's early, he could turn this thing around, but so far, really struggling so far this season. So, that's my negatives from last night's game, but overall, like I said, the rest of the team played well. I said Brown with 21, Tice had 11, Tatum with 27, and Thompson 17. So the rest of the starting lineup played well. Nesmith didn't play again last night, so he didn't play against the Warriors either. And I'm surprised. I'm surprised that Brad Stevens hasn't given Aaron Nesmith some more playing time, especially with the fact that you're missing Pritchard, you're missing Smart, and you have Jeff Teague struggling. So I'm really surprised that Nesmith didn't play last night. Javonte Green played 15 minutes off the bench. Didn't take a lot of shots, only took 3 shots. He finished with 5 points. I think this is a kid to look forward to as far as getting more minutes. I think Semi Ojeleye deserves more minutes. But yeah, I would really like to see Javonte Green get some more minutes because he's a young guy, but he plays good defense, and he can shoot the ball. Especially he can shoot the 3. He's shown it last night. He hit a 3-pointer. He can shoot the 3. So I think Javonte Green should get a little bit more playing time. Grant Williams struggled last night. He was a -10. 1 for 3 from the field, and they were all 3-point shots. Finished with 5 points. So Grant Williams, after having a good game against the Warriors, came back and struggled a little bit. There was a lot of negatives for the bench tonight. I mean, Javonte Green had -15. Grant Williams had -10, like I said. And even the bench, Carson Edwards and Tremont Waters, both in negatives. -5 for Edwards, -6 for Waters. So yeah, that just again goes to show about the bench. They got to do something. I don't know if it's the units that's working with the starting lineup, but things have got to change there. I was happy to see Tremont Waters play last night. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a huge Tremont Waters fan. He hasn't gotten playing time this year either, which is understandably. I'm not saying he's getting robbed of playing time. There's players on the team that are playing so much better than him who deserve the minutes. Semi Ojeleye, for example. Yeah, so that's the bench has got to it's got to improve, and it hasn't gotten so far. The defense, which was playing really well the past couple games, kind of fell back to a little bit of a below average defensive team this year, allowing the Kings to 116 points, which is right around what they were averaging letting up for the season, between 115 and 120 points is what they've been averaging letting up this season. Again, not to take anything away from the Kings. The Kings are a good shooting team. They have talent. Harrison Barnes, Aaron Fox, Bagley, Buddy Hield. The Kings have a good team, so it was nothing to take away from them. The Celtics, obviously, they played well, scoring 111. The Kings just played a little bit better. So that's my negative takeaways from the game last night. So kind of give a little preview of the game tomorrow night, 10 o'clock Eastern start time. The Celtics will be playing the Clippers, one of the best teams in the Western Conference. So the Clippers being led by Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, one of the best duos in the whole NBA, understandably, with their career resumes. It's going to be a great game. I'm really excited to look forward to seeing it. The Celtics and the Clippers last season in a 2-game stretch split it even, 1-1, 1-1. And they were both overtime games. Well, I think one of them was a double overtime game. So I fully expect it to be a high-scoring game. Kemba Walker will be back tomorrow night. I fully anticipate that Pritchard and Smart will both miss another game. Obviously, more games after that. But so it's gonna be interesting to see how the Celtics go again with their lineup tomorrow night. Still, you're gonna go Tatum, Brown, Walker, and then I feel like Brad Stevens, after what he got last night from Tice and Thompson, I feel like Tice is gonna start the 4 tomorrow night, and then Thompson back at center, obviously. So I think that's gonna be a starting 5. I'm wondering what Brad Stevens is going to do with bench minutes tomorrow. Who is going to get more minutes? Will we see more minutes? Will we see Aaron Nesmith get into the game? And will we see a little bit less minutes for Teague and more minutes for Ojeleye? I'm not opposed to that. Ojeleye is having one of the best shooting seasons of his career. And defense. He played great defense against the Lakers in episode 1. If you missed that, I'll also drop that link in the description as well. So he played great defense. He's playing great defense this season. Great offense. He really trusts his shot. I know he worked on it in the very short off season after the bubble last year, but he's definitely improved, and I've seen it time after time with the minutes that he's getting. And the people on the Celtics, the team, they love working with him. He brings the energy. So I'd like to see Semi Ojeleye get some more playing time. Obviously, no Taco Fall last night. I don't think you're going to see Taco Fall in the game unless the Celtics are really blowing out their opponent. I don't see him becoming a player that they're going to turn to when the game is on the line. So yeah, Robert Williams, before I wrap up this video, Robert Williams last night, in 19 minutes, shot 4, well, not didn't shoot, he's not really a jump shotter, but went 4 for 4 from the field, 9 points. I like Robert Williams, I really do. I think he also is another one deserves more minutes. I feel like if Robert Williams was a jump shot type of center, kind of like Tice, I think we'd see a lot more minutes for Robert Williams. So I'm really excited for the career that Robert Williams is going to have. He was about an average basketball player last season, and he's really taken it off the bench this season. So yeah, I appreciate everybody tuning into this video. Like I said, if you like this video, drop the like button down below. I will be posting the links to episode 1 and 2 from my channel to start. in the description below. So be on the lookout for that. And I'll probably have another video up on Saturday to cover the Celtics and Clippers game. So thank you again for everybody tuning in, and I hope you all have a good night.